What you're about to hear was going to be the latest episode of the IFS Turbo exclusive Races Rocket Odyssey, and for about 15 minutes Sam led us off down a path of something completely different. So I thought, I'll just stick it out as a standalone individual mini episode. So ignore the bit at the beginning introducing Races Rocket, because it's not that, although you can subscribe to the IFS Turbo and listen to that if you want to. It's about something else altogether, completely different. I hope you enjoy it.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Bow, bow, bow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
Welcome along to another episode of the Races Rocket Odyssey. It's the IFS Turbo exclusive series, and we're looking at the Races Rocket story, which appeared in Roy of the Rovers in the autumn of 1984, and it's in my right hand, and you are unveiling some kind of drink there, Sam.
I'm just hydrated.
Keeping hydrated, good to know.
Yeah, I know it's not hydration week. Someone, by the way, got in touch with us to remind us about Muscle Sport Night, because, and this is actually true, a cunter actually made a note of it in their diary from last year. And I don't know if you saw, but he sent us a message saying, I actually have a reminder in my calendar.
You're right.
And it's to remind you two that Muscle Sport Night is coming.
When
I obviously didn't read it with enough detail because I can't remember when the dates are. But if we check out, I can't remember. He sent it to Gmail, but...
Oh, I'm going to have a look. I thought it was January, Muscle's fortnight after Christmas.
Yeah, I suppose after Christmas is when a lot of people are thinking about their muscles.
Muscling up, yeah. Yeah, there's an email from January the 29th someone sent. Muscles fortnight content.
This was recent. This was recent. Someone said it's... Or maybe it was a tweet. Someone definitely got in touch and said, look, it's Muscles Fortnight, cunts.
Nah, I don't know about that. My feeling is that it's January, but they could be right. They could be right.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's not hydration week or hydration month, but I say any day's good to hydrate, isn't it?
Oh, you've got to keep ticking over. You just fucking go for it during hydration month. It's like when animals fill up with like fat before hibernating.
Oh, lovely.
Hydration
lovely
month
thought.
is when you overhydrate and then just live off it for the rest of the
like a camel.
coming months. Like a camel. Yeah, exactly like
you can store it. You can store it all in your tummy, and then slowly, a man's tummy is like a camel's hump. You can store water in. You can store like 2 months worth of water in it, and there's a slow release system that just keeps you hydrated, if you're not drinking.
You squeeze your own hump, don't you, and it just releases into your body.
I just press myself in the belly button. If I'm thirsty or I'm feeling a bit dried out, but I don't have access to any water, I just press myself in the belly button.
Yeah.
Just for a second. And it sort of...
It makes the same noise as a soda stream, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I tell you, talking of noises, just really quickly.
Noise talk.
Bah, bah, bah. It's quite sad. I mean, it's very sad, right? I had an uncle who I hadn't seen for quite a few years, but I was pretty close to him. I spent a lot of time with him when I was a kid, and unfortunately passed away. It's very sad. He's not like a blood relative, but he was married to my aunt, and then after they got divorced, which was when I was in my 20s, he got remarried, and we didn't see him for many years, right? Because that happens sometimes if they're not a blood relative, and he lived a new life, and
you side with the blood relative, irrespective of what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was just he went off, and we actually did stay in touch to begin with, because he'd always been a fun uncle, right? He was quite eccentric. Funkle. He was a funkle, yeah. And me and all my brothers really liked him. He was very funny. But he got a new relationship, and that, and then it can become a bit weird when you're in a new relationship to stay really close to your ex's family, blah, blah, whatever. Times change. And then we heard, it's been maybe 20 years since I've seen him. And unfortunately, we heard this week that he'd died. And in my wider family that involves, like, uncles and aunts and stuff like that, there's a big group, WhatsApp group, Right. They all got started in lockdown, didn't they? Now, I left it ages ago. It was one of those groups that you just have to leave. We've talked about this before,
Yeah.
right? And I left it. But if there's ever any important news on it, my wife left it too. I think all my brothers left it, but the one person who stayed on it to lurk. No, but this is like our wider family.
Yeah.
Like when you've got like uncles and aunts and cousins that you kind of know, but you don't feel the need to be like in constant touch with, right? And
Evidently.
So
I'm leaving the group.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, extended family, there's one that is just for me and my brothers and my sisters and my mum and my dad. That's enough, right? This is how far do you take it? Before you know it, I'm on some fucking WhatsApp group with a load of fucking paddies over in Ireland who are fucking distant, like 15th cousin twice removed or something. Yeah, you can't stay in all these groups, right? It's not who do you think you are, right? Anyway, if there's anything important going down on the wider family, extended family group, my daughter's on it, right, as a lurker. She got on it once and she doesn't really know. She's not met half of my uncles and aunties and cousins, right? She just hasn't met them because we're not, we don't, they're extended family, you don't see them. But she got herself on it and she's a lurker. She's, teenagers, they love gossip, right? And she lurks around and occasionally there'll be like a little tiff on it or something like that and she'll report it to me, right? And she said, I was really sorry to hear about your uncle. And I said, oh, did you know about that? And she went, well, I saw it on the extended family group that I'm on. And I said, yeah, it's really sad. I'm actually really gutted about it. And she said, yeah, your dad sent a nice message to the group about him. And I was like, oh, right. And then she started like sort of grinning, but trying to hide her grin. And I said, what are you grinning about? What? Come on, just tell me. It's fine. She went, no, I don't want to look like I'm finding fun. I said, just tell me.
Did he say I'd like to come to the funeral if he has one?
If he has one, right? What he did was, and this is it, and I think I've got a feeling that people will recognise this as an elder relative sort of quite common thing to do, right? Because I've heard and seen this done before. He sent a very touching message to the whole group saying, I won't name my uncle, but he was a lovely man. We all, I think I speak on behalf of the whole family, we all felt a huge affection for him, and this is very sad. And it was nice. He worded it in a really nice way, and he's the elder statesman of even the extended family now. My dad, he's like the oldest of his 8 siblings, and blah blah. So it's sort of like his statement appears to be the one that it's like the official statement from the palace, right?
Yeah.
And I thought and my daughter had read it and thought, oh, that's nice. And then 30 seconds later, no, less, 5 seconds later, right underneath this sort of heartfelt poetic message, he posts a voice note.
Oh, God.
And she pressed play and it just goes, ding! And that's it. That's it. And it's so funny because it takes the edge off this really like heartfelt. He was a great man, and it's a very sad day for all of us who would. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, he's also followed it up immediately with a voice note to everyone. Dunk, ding. Have you ever done one of those had one of those radio competitions where you have to identify the noise, and they just play a tiny, tiny bit of it?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times me and my daughter listened back to this voice note that my dad said. There's about 40 people on this group, at least. No, probably more like 50 people. And he sent it, and we couldn't stop listening to it. I mean, I was worried. I was like, maybe he's fallen over and died. Is that the sound of him dying? Because he goes, it's like a bit like a death rattle, then bang, into a hard surface, and then a ping, like a bell ping. I can't fucking work out what it is. But I guarantee he won't know he sent it. And I'll never get to the bottom of it, because if I ring him up and say, look, mate, what's this noise?
Yeah.
He'll go, this is what he'll say. He'll go, is this one of your silly jokes?
Yeah.
That's how it plays out.
No, that wasn't me. No, I've clearly been hacked.
What's his... Yeah. Oh, that's the classic, yeah. Well, I just simply didn't send that. I wouldn't send do that. It. And those noises, they're noises that I don't even recognise. They're noises that I've never been involved with or associated with in my life. So clearly I've been hacked, or it's you playing one of your silly jokes
Yeah.
He often says something. He often says things to me like, "Oh, I suppose that's another example of your irony, is it?" I'm like, look, I was worried about you. There was a very strange noise that you recorded, and I was wondering, is this a cry for help? What is it? I need to know. But there's no point me asking because it'll anger him. But, you know,
is the noise worthy of replacing jalapeno in our episodes?
I'm going to get the noise.
An ad break.
I don't think it's that disrespectful for me to get the noise from my daughter's phone and play it to you and the listeners because I think we could all try and...
I think we all need to hear it.
It would be interesting. It'd be a nice game for us to find out what noise is Sam's dad making in this strange obituary. That he's delivered an obituary that is, 9 parts beautiful and sincere, 1 part very strange and cryptic.
Noise.
Yeah, very cryptic. What does it mean? What's he trying to say? It's an addendum to the obituary. Yeah. And he's delivered it just in cryptic sounds. And I think that's sort of wonderful in a way.
Investigation.
It does,
by this podcast. When we started doing this Racist Rocket thing, I envisaged that it will be kind of a mini bonus thing. Episodes will be like 20 minutes long, maybe 25 with something interesting. We're 11 minutes in, and we haven't even begun to look at Racist Rocket.
We're just talking about a noise that my dad made in response to my uncle's death.
A memoriam noise, let's call it.
You imagine if you go to like the Undertaker and you're doing the arrangements and go, and would you be requiring a memoriam noise? Hey, what's that? I've already handed over. I've already given you a monkey for the coffin. What's this now? Another cost, right? Some families do. Like we have a selection of noises that you can choose from, depending on which religion you observe, and of course the personality of the departed. I don't know how much. Well, the price does depend on which memoriam noise you choose, sir. All right, play us a few then. Well, okay, very well. This one may be appropriate for. You say that your family are agnostics. Yeah, that's right. Okay, this one may be appropriate. Ding. Oh, yeah, it's nice. That. How much is that then? That one's a very reasonable £250. Oh yeah. What else you got? You got anything a bit more fun? Cheer people up a bit. Boing, something like that.
That's £600 though.
We do have a boing. I'm thinking, in Carry On Camping, when Barbara Windsor's knockers pop out when she's doing that, so the sound that makes. You got one like that? Because no, my uncle, he loved that film.
850, sir. Oh.
What's it called? A slide whistle.
What have you got for about 100? Well, for about 100, we've just got the sound of a nail being knocked into a wall.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I feel like it's better off going with nothing. Well, of course,
that is also an option, sir.
It is entirely up to you. Some people do choose to have a more simple ceremony. Yeah, what's to stop me bringing my own slide whistle with me and just playing it when the coffin goes down in the hole?
Well, etiquette, sir.
Etiquette, sir. There are certain rules. There are certain rules.
What's to stop you from making your own coffin out of a cardboard box, sir? Nothing.
What's to stop you digging your own hole and burying the deceased in it?
What's to stop you from folding him up and putting him in a plastic box? Not a lot. No, I thought about that, and the council got rules about that sort of thing. Yes, I believe they may have some. I'll tell you what, I'm going to call the council about this, make sure where I stand before I make any rash decisions. Hello, is that the council? Yeah, I've got a dead relative and I need to ask about where I stand vis-a-vis holes, coffins and noises. All that stuff.
Can you put me through to the right department? Double quick, please.
Oh, God, right. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should just put that out as a separate thing for everybody. Because that's really good.
Memorial noises.
It's got nothing to do with Roy Race. Yeah, I'll put that as a separate mini episode. let's start the Racy's Rocket thing again.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed that bonus bit of podcasting. Whew. Okay.
We will be releasing a Racy's Rocket almost immediately.
Yeah, that's going to go out for everybody, and we'll put the. Are you tapping something?
Yeah, well, it's that I told you earlier on the previous episode. I've got this new rubber washer which brings me joy, and that's why I can't throw it.
Okay.
But I thought it would allow me to do silent tapping. Clearly not. You found me out.
Okay. Thanks for listening to this mini thing, and goodbye.
Goodbye.